Hello and welcome to today's video. We've got two different types of magazines. One's about trucks, one's about Nissans. So we're going to go through a bit of both of them. It's going to be a bit random. I was debating what magazines to do. I found a bunch of random ones. I also have I was going to do a Minecraft magazine I found from like 2015. Because I keep random magazines just in case. I don't know. Like that was a Minecraft guide. It's like maybe one day I might use it when I do stuff in Minecraft. So I like Nissan Skylines, especially R32s and R33s. R34s are pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool too. But what one do we go through first? Okay, let's have a look at some trucks. We'll put him over there. I don't know if it's a him or it's a magazine, bro. It could be. Who knows? They could have their own personalities. This is just gonna go wrong. So, the shadow of the cameraman. I don't know if that's better or worse. What's causing that shadow? Is the is the I can't believe you've done this. So let's just ignore that blatant shadow that's in the way. So what's this magazine actually? The purpose. Okay, so I'm assuming it's 25 years of D.a.f. 25 years of trust and goodwill. Okay, it's basically an anniversary special little bit that came with one of my truck magazines. A bit like this. This was a little bit that came with the Fast Car magazine. So let's get somewhere before we get nowhere. So, what truck is this? Doesn't exactly say, but I'm assuming it's a D.a.f 95. I do like the old cab overs, whether they're British, American. I find them all pretty cool. Yeah, look at that. Get your eyes on that. They're all older D.a.Fs. Cool. One day I want to get my truck license. I'm going to drive me small trucks. I sometimes look at the trucks for sale in America and North America to see what you can get cheap, and it's actually surprising what you can get for like a couple of grand. Even over here, there's old trucks for like a couple of grand because they can't run them anymore because of regulations. So I'm not entirely sure what you can do with those trucks. I suppose if you had enough money and you needed a cheap truck to use, I'm assuming you could get an engine swap, maybe even a transmission swap, but I suppose that's going to be so expensive. I think like I'm sure there was someone I watched on YouTube and they got an engine swap on their truck in America, or they got the engine rebuilt. Trying to think if they said how much, but I'm sure it'd be different over here. It'd probably be way more considering the man hours, but if you can do it yourself and you're a mechanic, it's all well and good. If you have your own bit of workspace, that's what I wanted. I wanted to become a heavy vehicle mechanic because at first Um, I was going to do motorcycles, but things just went wrong. Um, and then recently I tried to do a mechanic's apprenticeship because I have worked with bikes for like several months, and I also went to college and got a qualification working on cars and bikes, and it was like basic maintenance. So I wanted to go up a bit so I could get better at it, but I just don't have space to mess around with stuff myself so I can get better at it. Maybe one day we will have a garage full of trucks and cars, but for now we're just looking at magazines and dreaming about what we could do with our lives. Look at this fella. He's probably the owner of the company, and he's got all these trucks. I find it pretty cool when you see a whole, I don't know what you call it, but they have the trucks with the same name on them. They're all in the same liveries, but it's like one's from the 80s, one's from the 90s, and one's from like right now. I find that really cool. That is also how I probably would be. I wouldn't want to get rid of my trucks, even though the government's like, you can't choose that no more. The engine is too dirty. So H ASCII, because this is how they kind of were on older sort. If you go back to the 50s, 60s, they sort of had this same sort of livery where you would have the name of the person as the company name. And now with these modern corporations, you don't really see that so much. You just see like Eddie Stobart, and like in America you have Swift, you will see Amazon, you will see this, you will see that. And you probably do have a few companies where it's like old American families where it started in like the early days, like 1930s, 20s, 50s, 60s. But I'm sure a majority of it always ends up going corporate. Oh, that's cool. So we've got an older truck here. I'm guessing that's 80s to 90s style. Right there. And this is modern day. I play Euro Truck Simulator. I know these things. But yeah, they've pretty much, most vehicles now is either digital. You don't really have circle gauges. And that's the interesting thing about American stuff though. Like they have the modern trucks that resemble the trucks from like the 40s, 50s and 60s, like the long nose cab type style trucks. And they still have the round gauges. But as you can see with the Euro stuff, they go for this fancy gauge cluster. But I think Daimler owns D.a.f, and that is part of a bunch of truck brands that Daimler AG owns. I think Daimler own maybe Western Star. Do they own Freightliner? I can't be sure right now, so I won't say, but they do own quite a few companies. I was kind of surprised. And also watching some history videos on Jack's Chrome, that Volvo bought out a few companies as well. So that was kind of surprising that a German and Swedish company have been buying out the American trucks. But they're still built and made in America, so I suppose that's all good. But yeah, just have a look on the next page. These magazines are kind of finicky, and my big long fingers just can't do it. Leyland Trucks might be a historic name. Yeah, because British Leyland kind of just went over time. But I suppose the assembly plant is still there, it just makes the trucks. Oh, so Leyland Trucks is owned by Packard, and I think, hold on, I need like a little computer to look it up because I'm sure, what was it? I'm sure there's a truck that has like sort of a fascia of one of these sort of trucks in America, and it's like a smaller box truck. And I looked into it, and that's how I found out. But yeah, I think I need to re-look into things, see who owns what, because I really can't think at the moment. Hiccups. Just rude. So now the hiccups have gone, we're going to have a look at some of these Nissans and whatever else is in there. Because I'm sure it's not just going to have these, but these cars are going to be a big part of this magazine. But once again, we're going to have a ton of adverts. Also, like, I scan read some of these little bits that they put, and in these types of car magazines, you can't read them on YouTube because YouTube will think you're being naughty when you're not. So, Honda. Oh, it's the 300 ZX. I do like those cars, they're pretty cool. It's kind of annoying in Forza Motorsport, no, Forza Horizon. They made this car kind of rare, and I think the only way you can get it is by wheel spin or paying 5-6 million on auction. Don't know why they did that, but what is that? Baby Godzilla. We've already seen what happens when the unhinged lunatic artisans at Liberty Walk get their hands on the baby Daihatsu Coppen, applying their own particular brand of wide body mayhem to this cute little open top formula. Oh, so it's a Daihatsu Coppen, and they've put a sort of R35 GTR body kit on it. So it is basically it looks the part, but it's still got the 658cc engine in there. I would be curious to hear what that sounds like, because I'm sure it can't be stock. They must have done something to it, because otherwise that's just all the gear. But no one decides. Honda Electric. I'm not sure what I think of electric. I think it's going to be a shame when petrol goes, because once petrol's gone, I'm sure diesel will eventually go. Skylines. R32, R33, R34, R35. Pretty cool. These must be all British cars. Or imported into the UK. Trying to find. I wanted to see if it said where that photo was taken. Doesn't say. But that's a nice looking road. Looks like it goes all the way around. Bet they sounded nice going up and down it. Damn. It's Forza Horizon. That looks pretty cool. Gold interior. Gold manifold. Is that the manifold? No, that's the injectors, I think. Either way, it's had a lot of money spent on it. It's already an expensive car. Because a lot of people make these go up to like 1,000 something. Oh yeah, 1,600. Is that one? Yeah, 1,600 brake horsepower. 240 miles an hour. That's crazy, man. That's like... I think I read something about Bugattis going up to 300. But 240 is still mental. When are you going to do that? Need like a high speed ring or drag racing on a mile long straight. Are they carbon fibre? Oh yeah, they are. 299. That's way out of my pay grade. I do like the wheels like this. There's a type of wheel, I can't remember what it's called, but it's pretty fancy. And it looks good on like MX-5s and smaller cars. Engine mount. Whoa, what's going on here? 350Z. No way. It's got like sort of Aston Martin rear lights. It's craziness. This car's kind of jokes because you have the Toyota, you have the Subaru, and I think, is it Toyota? Yeah, I think it's Toyota, Subaru. Either way, it's kind of funny. My brain is just gone. That's what happens when it's past 7 o'clock in the morning and I haven't slept. So this is the Toyota, not the Subaru. Trying to think because it's Toyota, Subaru. What was the other one? Meh. I can't think. My brain is dead, man. It's a nice looking car though. Also, it kind of looks a lot like the new Supra. Mitsubishi. That's an interesting colour. But I don't know if it's the way they took the photo, but it looks kind of reddy orange and yellow. Mitsubishi timeline. Yeah, because I don't think there's any more Evos. There's just the SUV Eclipse, which is it. Surprised that the Evos don't still, like, they didn't continue it, but I suppose it's the sort of, maybe they don't sell as many and it's not worthwhile to put them together. Definitely a cool looking car. It's not dawn. So here we have a Honda Civic. I think it's a Civic. G ready. Them wheels are pretty cool. Pretty cool. 1,000 horsepower to the front wheels. Is it front wheel or is it had like a all drive conversion? I don't know. I'd have to read it. I can't do that now. It does look mean with those wheels. It's surprising how wheels can change the way things look. I suppose that's it, man. What we got at the end. The road form wheels. The same as in the Audi magazine I looked at on my other channel. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too annoying. I tried to stop it when I was hiccuping. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you lot soon. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I could do the Minecraft magazine. I've got the truck book that I do want to look at. I might go through particular brands that I know and we can have a look at those. Or I had another idea, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I've got a bunch of magazines. Maybe truck book. I've got a crystal book. I've got a couple of things to do with history and wars. So I might do my war book with like weapons that was used throughout history, like planes, boats, different weaponry throughout different years. And also I have a National Geographic little book magazine that has a bunch of different maps and artwork and different things to do with history and war, so maybe I can somehow do a two-part thing looking at war or books. But yeah, I'm sure I'll find something to do. I've got enough magazines and books and stuff, so whereabouts is that? Oh, it's the sticker on my printer. I was confused. But anyway, that's all for now. Take care, and hopefully see you soon. Goodbye.